I freaking love comics, obviously, but if I had Action Comics #1, I would find it very difficult not to sell it. It is the most valuable comic of all time. In 2014, a copy was sold for $3,207,852. For us folks who use pounds, that equates to £2,190,931 and 32 pence. So what the heck is an Action Comics #1 anyway? Well, dear viewer, it's only the first appearance and origin story of Superman. This comic came out in 1938, which makes it the first ever superhero comic. Unless you count The Phantom, which debuted 2 years prior. However, I do not. Back then, the issue was worth 10 cents, and if my calculations are correct, which they should be, I used a calculator, the comic is now worth over 32 million times as much as when it initially sold. A lot of comics sell for a lot of money, but this is the only one to have been sold for over 3 million. Superman was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. The series Action Comics was initially an anthology series. However, after many different stories, it became solely a Superman series. It went on for 904 issues before the series was rebooted in 2011 for DC's New 52 event. However, in June, it will be returning to its initial numbering. I've already made a video explaining what the New 52 is, so go ahead and check that out for more info. Here's a weird fun fact. Nicolas Cage used to own a copy of Action Comics issue #1 until it and Detective Comics issue 27, first ever appearance of Batman, were both stolen from his mansion. His copy of Action Comics was later found in a storage locker, but since then, Mr. Cage has sold the majority of his comic book collection. He stated, "Those books today would be worth, I don't know how much, more than the whole collection itself was at the time. It occurred to me that I didn't want that in my house anymore, because I didn't want that sort of temptation for people to do that, so I sold everything." That was a horrible Nick Cage impression, and I'm sorry for that. Anyway, I can just imagine the thieves walking out with a big bag of stolen comics and Nick just being there like,
"What's in the bag? A shark or something?"
Obviously, Nick Cage is a Superman superfan, but this video isn't about him, it's about Action Comics #1. There are actually several short stories within the issue, the first of which is a short summary of Superman's powers, so that one's not really a story and doesn't really count, but I'm counting it anyway. The second story has Superman busting into the local governor's house in the dead of night in order to alert him of someone's innocence, thus saving them from execution. The third has him coming to the aid of a woman being beaten up by her husband, who then faints when his knife shatters on Superman's skin. And another story shows us Superman's alter ego, Clark Kent, as he finally manages to get a date with Lois Lane. Later, he has to rescue her from a gangster who abducted her after she rebuffed him at a nightclub, which leads to the cover scene with the car. The storytelling is very reminiscent of the time period, but that doesn't make it bad. If anything, it makes it more interesting. If you want to read the issue, don't worry about having to break the bank. Using the app Comixology, you can download it for just 69p, like I did. See, the reason the actual paper copy is worth so much is because of how old and rare it is. So in conclusion, if you have any spare copies of Action Comics issue 1 lying around the house or something, and you know you're not using them anymore, please do feel free to send them my way. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe for more geeky good stuff just like this.